Hello, hello, everyone. And as usual, the second I go live is when I'm like, oh, I should make sure my microphone's plugged in. It is. Everyone should hopefully be able to hear me. Everything's great. I'm a professional. Yay. Okay. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink, face, card making space, sort of cold garage, unpaid interns huddled in the corner.
That's me.
Yeah, doing his job. He was out de-icing everything.
Yeah,
and
we got rain last night.
Was it like, I guess we got rain. Yeah, other areas of the province got rain. Not last night. It was like the night before in January. So, needless to say, it is a horrific skating rink out there. This is why I don't leave my house.
Awful.
Yeah. Chris went to run a couple errands for you this morning, and he was like, it's solid ice everywhere. So, anyway, welcome. Hello. Yay. Yeah, it is just a weird weather thinger going through. You know, we had that wonderful little polar vortex where we hit did we hit minus 50? I don't think did we?
It was like 40.
I think it was like negative 48 or 49 Celsius.
Yeah.
And then it warmed up, which gave me horrific headaches. Love it. Love the barometric pressure issues. And then we got rain.
Yeah, then a warm front came
It's
in.
just been a constant adventure. Again, this is why I don't leave my house. I stay in here and work all the time. Speaking of which, I posted many videos last week. I went live twice. I did 2 bonus lives, Wednesday evening and Thursday evening. Those were super fun. So there was those. There's tons of content to catch up on. I posted 2 videos yesterday. Yes. And it kind of ties into what we're going to do today, because I've just been on a kick, and we will get to it. So be careful there. Yeah. Ooh, we should put those spikes on our boots.
Probably, yeah.
I have like rubber attachments for our winter boots with literal spikes on them. You can actually buy boots now that do that. They flip on the soles or whatever. I keep meaning to get a pair of those because, yep. So we're gonna have to do that because our driveway slopes a bit too when you leave, and it when it's solid ice like this, I'm constantly worried about like breaking something. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna make something fun and flowers and butterflies and all my favorite things. I have as usual a literal mess going on. Wait, this isn't what this was from the previous project, so I don't need this stuff right now. Oh, y'all, it's a lot what I've got going on here. We'll just do it. We'll just be doing it. More Tim Holtz stamps, dies, and pattern paper. That's what we're doing. Because, like I said, I am on a kick. So, which I'll show the cards. I'll be able to link to them in the end screen, like for the replay people. He'll be able to link to these videos in the chat. I filled my description box. It's like maxed right out, so I can't add any more things. Forget, does life go on like normal there when it's icy? Oh yeah. The only times now that things may slow to a halt for like a day, 2 days max is when we get tons of snow. And even back in the day, it didn't used to. And then, the world shut down and we started learning that, we can still be okay and stay in our homes and not have to go to work when it's 50 below or 3 feet of snow coming down, that kind of stuff. So, thank you, Zon. Thank you for the super chat. Yes, it's February. It's February 1st. Who'da thunk? I'm just having a hard time wrapping my head around that, Like studded tires for your feet. Yeah, that's it. They're like spikes. They're rubber thingies that stretch that we can put on our winter boots that have spikes on them. And necessary when we have ice like this. And yeah, nothing stops. People are out and about doing their thing. Packages are getting delivered. Chris was out running errands. He just
Grocery store was filled with people.
yeah, there's people out and about.
Yeah.
You just were very, very careful when you
Yes.
were driving because stressful. Anyway,
If you
okay.
hit the brakes, you're basically putting your hand, you're like
Just sliding through, yeah. Let Jesus take the wheel. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's stressing. I get so anxious now because I don't leave my house very often. So when I do run errands and stuff, I'm like driving like a little old lady. I was like, I don't care if will get past me. I was like, I don't leave. Ah, yeah. Anyway, okay. Let me switch so you can see first the mess. This is normal. Anyway, I posted these 2 separate videos yesterday. These were fun. So you can put the links in the chat. The first one was the pink thanks card. Yeah. So I did that one. And I was using some Tim Holtz goodness and a bunch of oldie but goodie favorites from Simon Says Stamp. Again, there's a whole video, showed it, links to all the thing, yada, yada. So I did that one. And then last night I posted this one when I got it done, the editing and everything. And same thing, there's some Tim Holtz goodness, oldie but goodie favorites of Simon Says Stamp dies, and an inky everything, you know? So I will post those in the end screen for the replay because after my live streams are over, I have to wait a bit for YouTube's robots to do its thing. But yeah, those are up on my channel. They're newest videos. And we're continuing with this. Specific. I had so many people. Y'all know me and pattern paper. I have a thing for it. I love pattern paper. I have a decent. I don't have near as much as I used to, but I do love it. And yeah, whenever it was a couple weeks ago, whenever Tim Holtz released, or he released some of it. It's on his channel. He did a live stream. For those that are avid Tim Holtz fans or have been watching and paying attention, last year in 2025, they did a series of fabric, and it was like palette. I think it was just palette, and each month it was a different color collection and like tons of it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. If you like to sew, because you'd have all those different patterns in color combos, so like oranges, yellows, reds, da da da. So they did that last year. Now they're doing it in pattern paper, which heck yes, because I don't sew. I would love to. Don't have the space, don't have the time. Maybe someday. So they've released 3 packs so far. There was orange, pink, and red. But in Tim Holtz Live, he actually showed the entire year's worth of releases because the next 3 colors will come out in March, 3 more in May, I think. Something. He explained it all. And yeah. So, all that blabber, I only got a little sampling of the papers when I got Simon Says Stamp's February card kit, which that was another video I posted just on Thursday, I think. Something. It was earlier in the week. In the kit, everyone's supposed to get about like 12 sheets, I think, like a good sampling of the papers. I got just a couple sheets of each color pack because they were limited. They wanted to get them out to designers, etc. I used some of the papers in those previous 2 cards that I showed. And then today, I cut down we're going to go with the oranges because we can. So I'm using more of it. Who'd have thunk? Go me. So yeah. And the paper just, 8x8. This is my wheelhouse. There is 12x12. And again, Tim Holtz explained it all, showed how they like kind of shrunk down the patterns, yada, yada, yada. So whatever floats your boat. I do have the 8x8 packs like on order. I don't know why I held out. Because I was like, do I need this? Yeah, I ordered. I've been having fun with this stuff, and I chopped up and I did those other cards. You can link to that one too. These were the ones I did when I unboxed the card kit. I made these two, so I did this one with the orange, and then I used the pinks. So that was really fun. So that video is also on my channel. And yeah, I used some of my pattern papers. Go me. So we're going to use more. So I have all of that. I pulled out an older, I got like SD cards running around here. Where's the stamp? This is the Perspective stamp set from Tim Holtz. I've had this for a while. And lovely. This came out years ago. This is CMS 213. He's well into the 400s now with his stamps, something. So this is years and years old. All his stamps, specifically with Tim Holtz stamp sets, these do not get retired. It's different with things like the idea-ology, the Sizzix wafer dies, that kind of stuff. That just comes and goes and gets retired ad nauseum. But the Stampers Anonymous does not retire these because manufacturing, red rubber, like those, they've got the plates. You know, they keep them, they keep pressing them, which is wonderful. So this is an old set, but I love it. I'm going to use this big butterfly. And then, like I mentioned in the last previous couple videos, over the last, I forget when they started doing this. It was a couple years ago, I think. Maybe even a little bit longer. Simon Says Stamps started doing coordinating wafer dies for the previous Tim Holtz sets. I linked to the categories in the description box because there's just a variety of different sets of the coordinating wafer dies. So I've done other videos. I did those 2 yesterday. And then I've got other previous videos using other coordinating wafer dies. And then I ordered this one along with some of the other like recent ones and a few oldie but goodies as well. Because I was like, I didn't realize I had them. So now I have coordinating wafer dies. So for this set, they don't do this with all the sets, but I like with some of them, if it's got like a highlighted little area, that just means there's another wafer die. So I love that you have the die for the butterfly, but then you have a separate one for the body. So I was thinking I might heat emboss that. We'll see. I have a rough idea of what we're gonna do. We'll see. Ted and the Stampers Anonymous people are great. Oh yeah, Stampers Anonymous has been amazing. Ted's a great person, and yeah, you can't go wrong with any of the Tim. I have quite the collection of Tim Holtz stamps, and I'm just gonna make a point of that's my thing. 2026 is my year of like using more of the things that I have purchased, using my pattern papers, using, you know, my collection of stamps. I don't mind collecting stuff, but I want to use them. So that's what I've been doing. And yeah. Oh, and I linked to these just FYI. These are the storage pockets that Simon Says Stamp sells. I purchased a bunch of these forever ago. I've been doing this tiniest, that's a word, bit of organizing. And I was like, oh, I need more of these. And then I went and looked and I was like, I had a whole full pack. Thank goodness. So I use these to store my Tim Holtz sets and the coordinating wafer dies. So they're all sturdy, reinforced goodness. And yeah. Shopping my stash 2026. I know, right? That is like, yeah, shopping my stash, but also let's just be perfectly clear. Am I going to stop ordering new things? Heck no. I got problems, man. I got problems, but it brings me joy. Okay, so that's what we're using, along with. We'll just be getting to it. I got all kinds of stuff all over the place, and a rough idea, like always, just a rough idea in my head. and we're just going to see if this translates into a finished card. It should. It should. You know, we'll see. I'm way better at collecting stamps than using them. Oh yeah. The stuff like stamps, dyes, paper, it's settling the tools, that kind of stuff. I have zero problems with. Like, I can collect it and save it until like decades from now, you know, and come back and use it within reason. Within reason. But it's the things like the paste, the liquid products. That's the kind of stuff where it's like, yeah, don't collect. You use it. Use it. But stamps, wafer dyes, paper, as long as it's, you know, not sitting somewhere to like rot in a sense, it should be fine. It should be fine. Okay, so let me just kind of pile things up so I actually have some space because I want to use this big stamp. And I did. Ha. Okay. I want some watercolor paper. This is just Strathmore El Cheapo. Distressed watercolor paper would work great too. I just literally have this sitting out constantly. I've done a bajillion videos using this stuff. It's cheap and I love it. I love it. Like, I've literally lost track of the amount of videos I've done using this watercolor paper, and it works great. So I have some watercolor paper, and then because this is a red rubber on cling foam, not photopolymer, I gotta take out my grip mat. If you don't have a grip mat and you're missing, like, you don't need all the add-ons. Like, a Misty and other stamp positioning platforms come with everything you need within reason. But if you don't have this, you would just take the foam, because it comes with a foam insert. You take that out because you need the clearance for red rubber stamps. So I'll take that out for a second. I have no idea where I'm going to put it because I've run out of room again. So we got that. We got our watercolor paper. We got our stamp. And there we go. I have an obscene amount of stencils. I bet I could give you a run for money on that statement. I have. I don't even bother looking. Like, I need to organize my stencils because, especially since I do this as a job, I need to pull off, you know, discontinued ones, etc. But there's so many. Yeah. I want to organize them into like geometric, you know, but anyway. Gonna stamp this with Archival ink, which I normally don't work with Archival ink. I just don't. And the last couple weeks, I've been pulling it out and using it more, and I'm like, the thing to remember with Archival ink is it stains immediately. It is a permanent ink. And especially like photopolymer stamps. My brain literally just stopped there for a second. With red rubber, it's not as big of a, like, I'll show. But with photopolymer, Archival ink will immediately stain it fully. Doesn't matter what you use to try and clean it off. It's just stained, and it's fine. It's just people get very upset over that, but you just gotta get over it. You really do.
Learn to let go.
Yeah, learn to let go. Embrace it. Stained stamps are love stamps, and the more stained they are, the better they stamp, honestly. And again, if you watch Tim Holtz at all, he takes his brand new stamp sets and like coats them in Archival ink and doesn't clean it off. I think it just because it removes the like, ooh, new pristine, you know? It's like, it's stained, let's go. Yeah. So I'm gonna stamp this a few times because this watercolor paper does have a little bit of texture to it. Not a ton, but this is also a ridiculously detailed stamp. And it doesn't need a stamp perfect. We're going to add color. There's going to be splatter, you know, all the things. I think the clear stamps being stained helps me see the detail of them. Yeah, oh yeah. Like I posted a video using one of my favorite sets, the Beautiful Flowers set, that is stained. Like that, the stamp itself is stained basically black. Because I've had it for how many years? I've used it with Archival, all kinds of permanent inks, yada, yada, yada. It is stained. And it stamps so well. Because, yeah, if you've ever worked with like detail images and trying to get a really crisp stamp, the more it's used, the more it's stained, the better it works. Yes. Yes. Keep missing a little bit of the bottom there. Boop, boop. Yes. I think this will be good. Yes. So, we'll let that sit for a second to dry. Doesn't really need to. It'll be fine. But here's a wipe. The only reason I'm even being able to wipe off anything from this is because there was still like wet ink sitting on top. But yeah, it's now stained. There is an archival cleaner. I never use it. The only times I will use archival cleaner is with like with my Better Press. If I have like the Better Press ink on my press plates, I'll use the archival cleaner because that's what Spellbinders recommends with the Better Press plates. Archival cleaner, I don't think you can use it on photopolymer stamps. From what I remember, I think that's one of the ones. No, I think archival cleaner is okay. It stays on cleaner that you don't want to use on your photopolymer stamps because it can like degrade the stamps. But what I would do if I really wanted to remove this, I don't care. Like this is fine. But to take off the most possible would be like Simon's, and here where it says it too, the Ultra Clean. I don't have a link to this. I can add it later if I need to. But the Ultra Clean does do a good job. I only use this when I like if a stamp has so much ink on it, like stained ink, that it's getting in the way of like, because a lot of times I like to stamp with a really light color. Archival isn't an issue. Like this, I can go in with a lighter color now and it should be fine. But to, ensure that so I don't get it on the inside or onto my ink pads, that's my big thing. I don't want to transfer like black archival ink onto a really pale ink pad. So I can just take my stamp. Oh yeah, my little stamp chamois still wet. It's a little stamp chamois. A little Ultra Clean. And then clean off like a decent amount. Again, it won't remove all of it. I don't care. But this does do a pretty good job. I will use it too sometimes to clean off my Misty lid and my like stamp wheel lid. So yeah, there's all my random yapping about archival ink and staining and all the things. So he has that. And then what I want to do, because I have this scrap sitting here, if I line this up properly, like that, I want to heat emboss the center because I have that separate wafer die. So if we clear heat emboss that might look cool. It might look like crap, and if it does, we just won't use it. But if we go like this, so we do that. Have my heat tool. Try not to knock everything over. I missed some of the. Oh, I think we're good. Yeah. Yep. Where's my? There. I was like, I need my clear embossing powder. So, this somewhere where I'm not gonna make a huge mess. Okay. In fact, I don't want this to move. So I'm more just ensure if I just stick a little piece of tape there. Just to hold them down. That works. So that I can just ink up. Because the extra little wafer die does just the body, so I don't need the whole butterfly. I just want the body. Perfection. Perfection. There we go. That's all I needed. And then take that out. Actually, I'll just leave that tape. Clear embossing powder. Tap off the excess. Put lid on embossing powder so I don't knock that over. Always like magic. So shiny. So shiny. Okay. It's got that. We got our big butterfly. Wipe that off. We'll probably come back to him for the inside of the card. We'll see. We're going to do the simplest bit of watercoloring too. I just need my little palette and a little water brush. That one. This one. Need my water brush. I need to move my container of die cuts so I don't knock that over as well. It's only a matter of time before that happens. Okay. Dupe. Dupe. Okay. Cloth. Watercolor paper. And then since I'm using some of that orange palette paper, I pulled out like orangey colors. So, and then a little bit of yellow. So I've got positively saturated inks. So I have straw, melon, cantaloupe, and sherbet. Sherbet. And an image like this, easiest thing in the world to watercolor because all the detail's there. So let's zoom in so I can actually show this. There we go. Okay. You can use a paintbrush, whatever floats your boat. I'm just using my little Tim Holtz water brush. And that's why I keep a cloth off to the side. One, to wipe between colors. But also water brushes do tend to be finicky. It's just the nature of them. But they're convenient. So, okay. And then we just need to pick a spot to start and go from there. I am going to go with, let's start with some yellow. And just slap some color on. So you just swirl your little water brush. And because these inks are water reactive, you can watercolor with them. I've done a bajillion videos watercoloring with these. You could also use distress inks, distress oxide inks. The only thing you would need to remember is if you use something like distress oxide inks, is the pigments in the oxides will sit on top, so they might obscure some of the stamped image. But anything will work as long as it's water reactive. So inks, distress watercolor pencils, regular watercolors, what have you. So we start with the yellow, and then we'll go into the MELON. Like I'm just scribbling because like all that detail is just there. So it's simple. So we're going into cantaloupe. Like that. And like that. Add some more. Like that. And then go in with our darkest shade, which is the sherbet. And it's simple, you know? Not doing any fancy blending or anything, really. I'm just adding some color. We can go back in, add more ink, just to darken it. Go into that medium shade. Just to add more layers, add a little bit more depth to all of it. Like that. Go back into that melon color. And add a little bit more because I really am liking that sherbet color. So we'll add a little bit more just because we can. Doop, 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 doop. Like that. Yeah. Simple, really. It's watercoloring is definitely intimidating, and super detailed images like this feel intimidating, but then once you actually break it down, it's like, no. All that detail's there. You just need to slap some color on and call it a day. I can add a little bit more because just whatever sort of left on my palette here. Like that. Go in again because I really like these orangey shades. Who'd have thunk? Orange isn't something I normally go for, but yeah. Lovely. Okay. And that was it. That was the watercoloring. Like I said, simple. Super, super simple. So this needs to be dry before we can die cut it, because otherwise there's a good chance that the watercolor paper will tear, and you don't want that. So to speed up that process, I'll just blast it with my heat tool. It's not super wet, but there's a bit of moisture. Yeah, it would be cool to see the monarch migration. Couldn't imagine. Okay. Okay. Let me zoom back out a little bit. There we go. I can keep the watercolor paper for a future project. There we go. Got that piece. We have the piece we cut and stamped and embossed for his little body. And then where'd those coordinating wafer dies go? They're around here somewhere. There we go. Okay. Get out of there. So I've got the coordinating die for the butterfly, and then the individual die just for his body. And this I'm going to definitely tape in place. Where's my, there it is. I'm going to tape this in place to make sure it doesn't shift. In fact, this guy actually, I'm going to die cut a little guide from a scrap. This will make sense in a second. Boop. Just a little piece of copy paper. I can use that as my little guide. The big one, much easier to line up. Like so. Doop, doop. Yep. Okay. We would die cut this guy. And then lovely. Lovely. Then that little shim or whatever that I die cut from the copy paper, I can use that to see exactly where I want this to line up. Like that, which is hard to see, but I can see it. So then I know exactly where this needs to go. So I can get it into place and just sort of tape it down like that. There we go. Now he will die cut exactly how he needs to be. There we go. Have I missed the chat about it? We didn't chat about it at all. But yes, Simon Says Stamp. Heidi is going live on the Simon Says Stamp YouTube channel at noon Eastern tomorrow, I think. It's already set up on their YouTube channel to officially announce Create 2026. So that will be going live. Oh yeah, I like that. That will be going live tomorrow. And I'm pretty sure it's noon Eastern time. It's on this, like, again, you can look on the Simon Says Stamp YouTube channel. It's up there. And I have no other, I don't know nothing. I have no idea. I will be watching it to see what's going on. Okay. So then I just glued that on top. You could also like die cut more layers if you wanted to, or pop this up, but I didn't want to. I just wanted to glue it just right over. So it just gives that little extra, you know? It's just so pretty. It's so pretty. Do you go? I'm not sure if I'm going to go this year. I haven't had, I've had like 2 days notice. That's about all I know, more than the rest of y'all. And I haven't had time to really think about it. People have been asking me even before there was an official announcement, because it was hinted at a couple months ago, I think, whenever. Yeah. Talking about with the unpaid intern. Issue is with me being in Canada, flights are
Expensive.
very expensive.
Yep.
It's a process. Okay. So we shall see. We shall see. Okay. I had the butterfly, and then all the things. I have a background that I die cut with where did I put it? Again, I have this whole pile from before we went live. So I die cut a panel of black cardstock with the A2 scallop rectangles because I do love me a little bit of a scallop border. And then I'm not sure yet if we're going to use that. We'll get to it in a second. And then pattern paper. I die cut with more A2 rectangles. Could trim with a paper trimmer, but I die cut the pattern paper as my background. All lovely. So we've got that. And then I think I am going to layer this on top. I've used this I'm pretty sure in live streams. I've used it in many videos. This is I had to find it. The Whirl diamond plate wafer die, and one of my favorites. I wish they'd tell us when it was going to be sooner. I'd love it. Honestly, y'all, Create is a massive, massive endeavor. It takes them, they work on it all year to pull us. And for those that aren't aware, Create is through Simon Says Stamp. It's in Columbus, Ohio, because that is where Simon Says Stamp is located. They do it at a conference center and a hotel that's literally like a mile down the road from their warehouse. And yeah, they have a bunch of brands participate, and they have make it, create it, take it, however they phrase it, classes, etc., etc. As of the last one, which was a couple years ago, the only way you can go is you have to buy tickets. They'll have different options. All of this is going to get explained and announced tomorrow. So I'm just speaking off the top of my head and what I've observed. I went to Create, was that 3 years ago now? I think it was 3 years ago. The first one they'd had again since the world shut down. And it was a lot of fun. It was absolute chaos. It was wall-to-wall people to the point where the fire marshal had to get involved. Because we kind of maxed out capacity. It was literally wall-to-wall people. It was insane. There was lineups outside. It was nuts. So then they had to limit the amount of people that are allowed to go. So the only way to go is you have to purchase tickets. And there's going to be options, whether you got classes or you just want to attend, yada, yada, yada. And then the big perk is, because it's a mile from the warehouse, is you can shop. They bring product there into one of the great big conference rooms. So you can shop on site. And then you can also place orders. And if you're there, they will bring it to you. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. We shall see. Anyway. Okay, back to it. We got the Whirl diamond plate. So I did get this from Ivory cardstock. And my plan was to overlay this. We're just going to build up these layers. Kind of collagey, kind of, oh no. Well, then we're just going to see what happens, y'all. I got ideas. So I got that. And you still see the pattern paper. And then what I also did was I pulled out, here we go, the Abundant Leaves wafer die. I'd love to go, but huge crowds scare me. It's my phobia. Oh, it's nothing like it was. Again, I didn't go, there wasn't one last year in 2024. I was going to go in 2024, and then everything went sideways and I had to cancel. But I had a friend that was there and put me on FaceTime, because Tim Holtz was at the 2024 one. And so I got to chat with Tim for a bit, and she kind of walked me around and was showing me it was nothing like it was when I was there. Because when I was there, it was wall-to-wall people. It was overwhelming. Everyone was wonderful. That is one thing too. I don't like crowds. I don't like people. I have severe social anxiety, everything else. But when you're at something, and it doesn't have to be any sort of event where it's people that get you, fellow card makers, crafters, it's pretty awesome. Everyone is so nice. I met some of the funnest, nicest people, and I just remember meeting a couple of these like random men who were there with their wives. And the one dude, I will never forget that. He was just kind of standing by and I was like, it was wall to wall people. Everything was nuts. He had this toothpick in his mouth and he was just like, yeah, the wife loves this stuff. Like he couldn't care less, but he was just so, he brought her and he was there as support and had a nice little chat with him and totally made my day. Like it was fun. It was fun. Anyway, um, yeah, 20, those that have been, they're in the chat. We're at 2024. It way more chill from what I understand. And I expect this one coming up to be along the same vibe because they have to limit how many people are allowed on the premises because you know there's rules and safety things. So so yeah, it's not going to be, again, it's not going to be wall to wall people because they are not allowed to do that. Nobody wants that. It's chaos. So the amount of people allowed is limited. Like tickets are set. And yes, those that are watching right now that are like, you really want to go, watch the live tomorrow. It's on the Simon YouTube channel, so you can, bookmark the time, etc. Tickets generally do sell very, very quickly. Like, it's nuts. It's nuts. So, okay. Okay. Abundant Leaves. I've used this a million times. What I did with it is I have a social anxiety also, but I'm willing to step outside my comfort zone for an event like this. Same. And trust me, y'all, like, it was bad. Because when I went in 2023, yeah, that would have been 2023, I had a full-on, like, panic attack. Like, to the point where, thankfully, a couple people I knew stepped in and, like, drugged me to another room because, like, nearly vomited in public. The poor unpaid intern, I don't know how many phone calls he had to get from me, sobbing. Like, it was bad. I had a hard time. And not be like, everyone was so kind and it like so wonderful. Like everyone was awesome. It was a lot. And it was also weird for me because like people coming up to me and all of it. And I'm just like, I'm nobody. Like I'm nobody. Like, it was, and everyone was wonderful. Like everyone was wonderful. I was just overloaded and like, ah. But yeah. If I go again, I should hopefully be a lot better. So if anyone met me in 2023, I'm sorry if I was completely insane because, well, that's just is what it is. So, okay. I die cut these from vellum because I love vellum. And like, look at that detail. Like, 2023 was very crowded. 2024 better. They space. Yeah. 2024 they had more space. Yeah. The tickets, the amount of people allowed were limited. They had more space. It was, yeah. So, and then 2025 they didn't do a create. They were focusing more on doing the online, like free classes, all that kind of stuff, which I assume they're going to keep doing. They have one coming up soon, and yeah, we'll just see. So, I have these. My plan was to add some color, meet new friends in every make and take line. Yes. Oh yeah. It honestly, here, I'll go to my face so it makes more sense here. One of my favorite moments from Create, which again, it was nuts when I was there, but I ended up helping at the waffle flower booth because they had it set up with like all these tables of different brands, and then that's the big thing is you can sit down and do create it, take it's with the different brands. And I just like threw myself into it because at the time it was Shannon who was doing that specific booth and she was by herself and it was wild. Like there was just so many people. She was overwhelmed and I was just like, hi, I'm helping. She didn't give her a choice. But what my favorite point was is someone sat down in front of me and it was like I was just winging it. I was sweating. Literally, I was sweating. I was swearing. I was not very professional. I'm amazed that Wildflowers still works with me at this point. But she sat down and then this person proceeded to tell me, she was like, I've never made a card in my life. Like a friend brought her. She had no clue. And she was having so much fun. And I'm just like, I was helping her along, but she's just doing her thing. And she's like, I love this. And like seeing someone, like seeing that click, you know, I wish I had had a chance to like get her name, take a picture with her, something, because it was the highlight of the trip for me. And I hope she's still making cards because it was so much fun. It was so much fun, but it was, that event was chaos. It was chaos. So again, if anyone came up to the Waffle Flower booth while I was working that, Shannon was wonderful. Shannon is an amazing teacher. She now does like the promo and teaching for Hero Arts. Lovely, lovely human. She actually used to be a teacher, I think, which the way she was explaining everything, and she's so calm, and I am chaos incarnate. So totally different things. Anyway, back to what we were doing. Do. Anywho, got my little vellum leaves. I'm sticking them upside down on to just a grip mat. Just kind of bear with me here. I want to add some color to them. So I've got them upside down on here. And the nice thing is because this is like, vellum's a little more delicate. These have been, die cut. The grip mat will kind of help hold things in place because I want to add some ink. Bringing a new paper crafter into the world. Yes. Like, honest, I genuinely, I hope that not only that she had like tons of fun, it really, like, she had fun there. I hope she had so much fun, got to make more stuff. And I hope either she's still making cards or something crafty, and it was a lot of fun. So I wish her everything. I don't even remember. I don't even know if she told me her name. Y'all, it was bonkers. So yeah. Anyway, I might be able to get my hubby to come along if there's a golf course nearby. I think there is. I'm pretty sure there is a golf course there, but I'm not 100%. I have no idea. Y'all, I didn't even really go anywhere when we were there. Like, a couple of friends I went with, we went out, to eat and a little bit like that, but I just stayed in the conference center. Like, I've never really had a chance to travel much. And that was I think that was the first time I had traveled in like 7 years or something. Yeah. So, yeah, I was a mess. I was a mess. It was chaos. Anywho, we are adding some green ink onto these leaves because we can. And we're just going to see. Do. Like this. And then, so like I said, this was on the back. I may want to add some to the front too. Yeah. Let's do it. We'll just do what we want, Do. So we blend. I'm not covering the entire die cuts. Just kind of slapping that ink on. Oh, I like that. It's just soft. Didn't they get you drunk in the end? Oh yes, we capped off a bunch of us. Just, yep. We had a good time. But I also learned a lesson that I knew better. I went way past my limit, drank way too much. It would have been fine if I could have like just slept the entire next day, but the entire next day I was traveling. So flying on airplanes when one is very, very hungover, I was a mess. It was not good. And serves me right because I knew better. I'm an adult. Had a fun time. Everything was great, but I was. And then same thing. They like Mari and her name escapes me at the moment. They were babysitting me on the way back. Like making sure I had some food in me. That helped and all the things. Anyway. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like putting ink on both sides of these die cuts. It just gives it a little extra something. Um do do do. Shannon. Oh yeah, Shannon's amazing. She's just good people. She's just good people, man. So yeah, it's it's fun. I I highly recommend being able to go to like there's many different events here and there, and depending on where a person lives, if there's not, some sort of crafty event going on in your area, maybe look into organizing one. You never know. Um because yeah, it is. It's fun getting to meet people in real life and hanging out and making stuff and all of it. That is one thing I've really missed out on, and doing this as a job, like not being able to attend the events, and then literally as soon as I get to the point in my life where I could start attending events, the kids are older, the unpaid intern's able to help out, all this stuff, the world shut down. So yeah, it's been lots of fun. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm liking these leaves. I am liking these leaves. Um, do. So I'm not sure even. I'm just gonna add ink to all of them. Okay. I might maybe I'll put one on the inside of the card. We'll see. We'll see. I haven't thought that far ahead. You know. So we'll just see what happens. Do. And then that one. And that one. Like that. Lovely. Lovely. Um yeah, Creative World is this weekend. Yeah, Liam. Yeah. It's on my bucket list. That's in Frankfurt. Someday. Someday. Maybe next year. It always kind of sneaks up on me when I always forget that it's so early in the year. And yeah, that's a rather large hop, skip, and a jump to travel there. I would love to, because I've seen like photos and videos from Creative World, and I'm like, oh, yes, would love to attend that. I think it would just be fun. Let alone going to Frankfurt. Like, seriously. Someday. Someday. Do. Okay. So, just slapping all this ink on these die cuts. These ain't going to smear on the vellum. I'm going to blast these with my heat tool just to dry the ink. I also am only planning on adding glue as minimally as possible, because glue will, one, show through. The glue will also reactivate with the ink. But since these are going to be like under bits, and I am going to add some florals, we'll get to that in a second, I'm not super concerned. And I haven't applied the ink super heavy either. Like if inks like this that are water reactive, etc., it just kind of depends. I think by brushing it on like this and not heavy, because if that, yeah, these should be fine within reason. Within reason. Like, like everything, temper your expectations because you never know. You never know what's going to happen. Is create the same as creativation? No. Creativation is a industry trade show that is mostly only available to like retailers and that kind of a thing. It's not generally open to the public. And yeah, Create is an event through Simon Says Stamp that is open to the public. And that will get announced again tomorrow. I think it's noon Eastern on the Simon Says Stamp YouTube channel. So, yeah. So, yeah, for those wanting to know more, you can Google. If you Google Simon Says Create, because there's blog posts from previous years that explain everything, like what goes into it, yada, yada, yada. And again, if you are interested, it's in Columbus, Ohio. They are announcing it tomorrow. They'll announce the dates. I assume the tickets will go on sale at the same time. And you have to make up your mind very quickly because they do sell very quickly. It's yeah. Okay. Where's the okay? I also put out the delicate wildflowers little die set, and I just die cut that from from ivory cardstock, and I die cut it all. I'm just gonna stick them down. We're just gonna stick them down. I don't think it really matters. They don't need to be perfect. I die cut them a couple times because each little the wafer die cuts all 3 little blooms, which are 2 layers each, and then the flower centers. So I just die cut a couple scraps of the ivory cardstock. Derp, derp. And then my little flower centers. The last couple create events were in May. Yeah, that's generally when they are. They will again. They'll announce it all tomorrow. Got that? So I'm going to use the same inks that I was using to watercolor our fabulous butterfly. And I am just going to use, this should work, some little blending brushes. So I'll start with the melon color. Because my plan with these guys is I'm playing off of like the patterned paper. So orangey, peachy, etc. I think last year's ticket sold out nearly me. Well, it wasn't last year, it was the year before. The 2024 Create, yes. I think 2024 Create sold out before they finished the live. Yeah. It was nuts, y'all. It was kind of insane. Trying to predict demand for stuff like that. And then the amount of people getting so upset, like, why can't you do it internationally? And it's like, you cannot move a warehouse overseas, let alone to other parts of the country, too. The whole reason they're able to do it is, like I said, it's a mile from their warehouse. So the employees are doing like double duty, like helping at an event like this, plus their regular jobs of running a warehouse for an online craft store. It's a lot. Though, like, yeah. And those that have been there understand. Like like they are running off their feet. Like they do a very good job at that event. It's impressive. Do. There we go. Let me do that. Yes. That's one thing I love about pattern paper even if and I mentioned this, I think, in my like voiceovers of the last couple of videos, but even if I'm not necessarily using pattern paper, just being inspired by it, like to reach for colors I don't reach for as much, or doing different things. So like the orange papers, like I don't reach for orange that often, but yeah, I'd use the pinks, I'd use the reds, and I was like, oh, like, and this, oh, I love this floral paper, but I was like, ooh, like there's like these peachy tones, and then the green, there's deeper orange or some yellow, getting inspired. And then the red one I posted last night, I'd said how I was inspired by one of the papers had like these brilliant red poppies on the paper, and I was like, so I pulled out my little poppy wafer dies and made them just really, really bright red, and it was super fun. Do, 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 do. Let's do. These conferences are so expensive, or the companies, it's even more expensive. Oh yeah, like yeah, to put on any sort of event, it's a lot. It's a lot of moving parts. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of coordination. Like it takes. It used to be back in the day. Simon Says Create was only once every like 2 years because it took that long, you know. Um, and then when they came back and did 2023, it was actually a surprise that they were able to do 2024 like back to back like that. And then they skipped 2025, did all the free online events instead, and then they're back for 2026. So we'll just see. We'll just see. Okay. I've added that. I want to go a little darker. So we'll go in with the cantaloupe. Um, What do you think is the best virtual event? Oh, there's many, honestly. And it just depends. Like, specifically speaking of like Simon Says Stamp, they've done several like free ones that you can still watch. It's on their YouTube channel. And they were tied to a kit, but you don't need the kit. So the Simon ones are free. Worth checking out because like they did one with Tim Holtz and Gina Kay and Kathy Zielski and Callie Person, etc. And those are great. And then there's several like virtual events with different brands. I am teaching with Altenew for their Secret Garden Retreat. That's on my sale page on my website. So there's that one, which is tied with a kit. And Altenew does a couple different ones a year. And like, there's a lot. There's a lot of options now. That was one of the positives to come out of the world shutting down is people got creative and pivoted and started doing more virtual things. And yeah, there's now a ton. There's a ton of virtual events out there. And I hear all sorts of good things about a lot of them. And there's variety in many of them as well, in terms of like whether it's a full kit, the type of event, like multiple classes. It's like yeah, there's a lot. Um, do do do. They're all great. Difference between spellbinder brushes and waffle flower, they're all great. I I do this as a job. I have an insane amount of blending brushes. You don't need all the brushes. You don't. You don't need all the brushes. Just is what it is. But yeah, they all work great. The wallflower ones are great. These are great. I just kind of, a lot of times when I'm doing like random stuff, I just grab it random. So if you've got the wallflower ones, you're golden. If you have the spellbinders ones, you're golden. You're golden. Everything's good. Um, they all work amazingly. And I love that we have smaller ones, like little brushes for things specifically like this where I'm getting right in, I want just little areas. And it's like, yes, perfection. So good. And yeah, this specific brush is the medium. It comes in a pack of 3 and I've got it linked in the supplies, but there's like, these are the 3 sizes. So even the biggest one isn't like that big. That's the medium. And then there's a little bitty one. And this is about the same size as the Wildflower 0 Plus brushes. I love these tiny little brushes. I use the little ones a lot because for stuff like this, I can just get right in there with my little die cuts and just add some ink. And it's so good. Boop, boop, boop. Like that. And it just makes me happy. Concord 9th event. Oh yeah, Concord 9th does events that are really good. Spellbinders has started doing a couple. I think they're either doing one right away or there's one coming up. I forget. Their weekender event, they had done one, and then they got one coming up, or it's happened. I don't know. Y'all, I can't keep track of everything. Hero Arts does little like stamp-alongs, I think they call them, and they've got theirs. Okay, options. Pink Fresh does events as well. And I'm sure there's more. I'm sure there's definitely more out there. These are just ones that have kind of come across my radar and I've seen them. And the great thing with a lot of that is, yes, it is a way for a lot of people to participate in something when the cost of travel is prohibitive, or for some that literally cannot, So it's fun. And the ones I have participated in, the same thing. Like the vibe is just so fun, especially if they do have ones where it's like set up and everyone's doing it through Zoom. So you can kind of see, like I did a little class a week and a half ago with Altenew, and at the end, some of them turned on their camera and were able to show me like what they were making, like while I was showing and doing my thing. And that was so fun. I loved it. So yeah, options. Walnut stain distress ink, and we'll just grab another little brush for that. That's another reason I've been on the whole sort of grunging things up again kick, which I don't do very often. But if you followed him Holtz, for any length of time, you become very aware that he likes the grunge, he likes the brown ink on everything, and it works. And I like it. I do like it. I just don't think of it very often. But then when I pull out his products, it's almost like, well, it needs a little brown. I just need some. But again, you do you. Put your own spin on things. Do what you want to do. You don't have to add brown. Do it rainbow. That's another creator I really that worth looking into. Jen Shirkus. She does events. She does in-person ones. She's in Crop on the Cape. I'll quickly look it up. Google Jen Shirkus. Someone might be able to get to it and tell me in the chat before I get to it. Jen Shirkus. She goes under Creative Chick. I will post a link to her website in the chat. You guys can check it out because she does do events. She does events and retreats, Cape Cod. And she also does virtual ones as well. And highly recommend. She is amazing. Literally. Like, she has done a lot of events and teaching and all the things. So she's one to look into as well. She's got all sorts of different events, classes, etc. So Yeah. Yeah. She does her crop on the Cape in Cape Cod. And I've seen photos from those events and it looks like a lot of fun. So that would be a fun one to go to as well. Um, Waffle Flowers brushes. I don't have links for these. You can look them up because I don't have space to have more links underneath. These are the Waffle Flowers 0 Plus brushes. So these ones are a little bit tapered. You know, tapered a little bit, whereas the Spellbinders are flat in the end, hard to see on camera, but similar in size and also similar in length of the bristles. So they both work great. I like these to get into, little areas, or if I'm stenciling and I want just, there's like a little eye opening or just a tiny little opening that I don't want any other color. It's like I can get right in there with my little brush and go doop. So I have 2 sets in here, I think, of these because I use them so much, because I kind of try to keep one for a dark shade, one for a light shade. So like one for red, one for pink, one for dark orange, one for light, So yeah, I'm pretty sure there's 2 sets in there. And then the other ones I use a lot are the 0 or 1 plus shader brushes. And these are also slightly angled, slightly tapered. And the point with these is more meant for like dragging, but I use them the same as everything else. Like I will swirl, and these are great. And same thing, I have at least 2 sets of these because I keep a set for lighter shades and a set for darker shades. I use them so much that I purchased second sets. So they're great. They're great. Honestly, you can't go wrong. But those are some of my most used spellbinders, the waffle flower, and then my like Simon Says stamp blending brushes. They're all great. And then yeah, my Altenew ones as well. Y'all, I could do an entire treatsy on blending brushes. Can I even get those out? Altenew has the minis. These are like short. Love. I have so many. Literally, I have like 60, I think, of these. I have these more for my Altenew inks, but I use them with any dye-based ink. But I have them because I have sets of 4, like light, medium, dark, dark, in the fancy Altenew holder. So those are the minis. And then these are the micros. So these are there's the size 10 and then the size 7. And they're amazing. So good. Blend so well. These would be about roughly the same size. The 7s are about the same size as the medium spellbinders, but obviously like shorter bristles. And these are, again, all of these would work for everything I'm doing. They work really nice for stencils. I'm multiples, so many. I do this as a job. Always remember that. I do this as a job, so I have way more than the average bear, more than I need, but I like them. Some of it's sent to me, some of it I purchase. Like anytime there's a new like blending brush on the market, I'm like, ooh, curious. Need to add to the cart. So, and even though I do this as a job, I don't need that guy right now. I probably still would end up with this many blending brushes, let's be honest, because I'm always curious. There's always a new shiny on the horizon. Like, I need this in my life. So yeah. The free classes from Simon Says have been. Oh yeah, like the Simon little virtual classes again. Those ones are completely free and they're on YouTube, so people can check them out and rewatch, etc. And the kits for them are gone. Like, they had sold out before the classes, etc. However, with a lot of the Simon ones specifically, um, a lot of the products might still be available, like individually, and they'll have like links and whatever, or you can just substitute for what you've got, because a lot of us generally have something you could use instead. So options, all good. So I am, though, saying all of those things, I am not the one really to ask like for a good like overview, because I don't participate in many of them unless I've been invited to like teach, you know. Because again, while I do this as a job, that's why I don't really have the time, even though I would like to. I would love to go to all the events and participate in all the classes. I think that would be so much fun. But yeah, I don't even have enough hours to get done what I need to get done, let alone everything else. Where's my little mat? So I don't get, there it is. We'll just stick all my little pieces on here so that I can see what I'm doing. We just need to assemble all my little flowers. So we've got that one. And again, does it really matter with these? Like, do they need to be like exact? Not really. Not really. Like, this guy looks like he's, oh yes, he goes with that one. Like, you just kind of look at the packaging, but even then it's like does it really matter? Like, does it really matter? Oh, that was that guy, I think. That goes with that one. Perfection. So that's that one, which then means this one. And is that the same one? Yep. Just cuz. Just cuz. So then those guys are this guy, which would mean that that's that one. Like that. Like that. And then we've got these little guys, which go like this, I think. Is that how they have them? I don't even know. I don't think it actually matters. I just get myself into the weeds with some of these die cuts like a weirdo. Mm-hmm. And I probably have my, who cares? Let's just glue it and not overthink it. It also helps to unclog one's glue. Am I doing that? No. Should I? Probably. Like that. Yeah, it'll make a cute flower. So a little bit of glue. And then stick another piece on it. And then it'll look cute once we get a little flower center on it. So you can go like that. Like that. And then we can grab, and we got a cute little flower. They're just adorable. Okay. Yes, the Tim Holtz, like his the showcases when he does, whether it's like a holiday theme or he's just having fun, that's another one worth checking out. And he's got them all on his YouTube channel. And you can just scroll back, and they also, because like a lot of his, especially when he's doing some of his like creative play or whatever, they can be 3+ hours long. However, in the description under those usually are timestamps that will split it all up and explain like different timestamps for like different techniques, etc., etc. And definitely worth checking those out because it's all just like random like inspiration, techniques, using things in ways you wouldn't expect. Tim Holtz in his element, really. So, highly recommend those. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going like that. And like, look at all our just little cute little flowers. These will just be little fillers. Do the containers? They're from Wildflower. They are. There's a specific name for them. If I go to, no, not that one. That one. Close the containers. I just popped into the chat. There we go. Hopefully that works. Yes. Yeah, they're little brush holder duo. I have a bunch of those. Because I like their little square or rectangle size of those little brush holders from Wildflower. And so I have a bunch of them. And they're silicone, so they don't like slide all over the place. And they also fit, they fit on a Scottis. I think it's Scottis is the name. The little ledge from IKEA, little picture ledges. These fit perfectly on there, which is perfection. And then they have a little scalloped edge. So if you use it, you can like rest things on here and they're not going to roll off. They're brilliant. They're brilliant. I have a bunch of them. I've purchased extras over the years because I hold my little brushes and pens. And yeah, I have one right here. Holds my pens. Like, they're handy. They're super handy. Okay. Oh, my sentiment as well. I have that. Oh, and I was going to add ink to this. Okay. Yeah, I'm all over the place. What else is new? This was the Fancy Thanks, I think is the name of this one. It's another oldie but goodie favorite. And yeah, I die cut it from scraps of black cardstock. And excuse me, unpaid intern. You can put the link to that in the chat. He's just zoned right out. The Fancy Thanks Wafer die. Yeah, I die cut it from black cardstock. Usually I do 3, but because I'm adding so many layers to this card, I think 2 will be more than enough. And this is also very heavyweight cardstock because this is Simon's So Very Black cardstock, which is a good weight. Okay, so I got that. Where's my little doobly-doo? Got that. I love to see how passionate Tim gets when making. Oh yeah, the way his brain works is fascinating to me. Like, he's got a very, very unique eye when it comes to creativity and design, and is very good at presenting it as well. So, yeah, I am a big fan of Tim Holtz. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, so we got that. Oh my gosh, you called the intern and my parrot said what? Love it. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so we got just so many things. It's hard to tell if the ink is fully dry. Like, I'm just gonna blast these vellum ones that I did however long ago now that I've been yapping this entire time. I'm just gonna blast them with my heat tool just to help set the ink in case. And keep my hair out of the way. It seems good. Don't freak your freak. Oh yeah. Don't lick your artwork. I parrot a lot of his. Speaking of parrots, I parrot so many Timisms on my channel. I just keep telling people, like, don't lick the artwork, man. And yeah, like, don't freak your freak. Temper your expectations. And yeah. Our leaves. You could also hold these with tweezers, you know, if you don't have asbestos fingers and hands like me. This is very hot, but it doesn't faze me. But yeah, you could hold these with like tweezers. But when it's vellum and it's fiddly, it works. It works. Okay. So we got leaves and flowers and die cut sentiment and that gorgeous butterfly we did at the beginning. Pattern paper. That goes behind that. And because I'm using Tim Holtz stuff and I genuinely do like a little bit of the grunge, let's add a little bit. Do you know how much tickets are for create? I have no idea. It would depend. Just open access tickets to the Create It tickets are around 25 to 50 US. Don't quote me. They will tell tomorrow exactly how much. The classes are more, but that's for a class and kits and yada yada yada, and those go up to I think 400-ish. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on anything. Heidi will explain it and announce it on the Simon channel tomorrow, and like all the info will be there. But yeah. And just again, a reminder. The classes sell out. From my observation, the classes sell out incredibly quickly. Every time. The last create back in 2024, the general admission tickets lasted a little bit longer, like a day or so. I forget, but yeah, the class is sold just incredibly quickly. So I'm just using the old tried and true blending foams to add some of this walnut stain to these edges because I can. You can always skip this if it's not your thing. I don't know why. Sometimes it just works. So we're just going there like this. I'll even like run some there. Why not? Why not? Thing I like about doing a little bit of grunge and stuff too is it just removes that like pristineness, if that makes sense. You know, it doesn't need to be it doesn't need to be perfect. You get what you get and don't throw a fit. My favorite. Yes, Tim says that one a lot. I've been saying that one to my kids for years. Like, to the point now they will parrot it back to me. Like, you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. I'm like, exactly. Eat your dinner. So yeah, I kind of laugh with that one. It is a oft repeated phrase in this household. But when it comes to like being creative and specifically card making, yeah, I just keep telling people like it's just paper, folks. Like it's just paper. It's not the end of the world. And I understand being intimidated by things and overwhelmed by things. That I 100% live in proof here, y'all. Like overthinkers unite. But it is just paper, and I highly recommend just playing with it. Try some things, experiment. So now I'm adding it to this Whirl background because it's just gonna give it. I love this background guys so much. Okay. Kathy's easier doing it wrong. Gina K's better than awful. Yeah, Gina K says better than awful. Truth. And Kathy's Yelsky, I still need to pester her. I need her to send that sound clip of her. So I can just press a button and it'll be like, you're doing it wrong. Love it. It just makes me laugh every time. So yeah. Okay. Just adding that walnut stain, and then we'll just kind of doop 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 whatever's on my blending foam here. Cause why not? Why not? Yep. Yep. I'm here for it. It works. So we've got that piece and that piece. I can even take just a little bit here and there and just add it to the flowers. Not a lot, just a little bit, just a smidge. Nothing too crazy, you know. Just those little bits of grunge, man. Do like that. Oh yeah, yep. So yeah, blending foams from back in the day before we even had blending brushes. That's all we had was blending foams. I don't use them much for ink blending anymore because, you know, the brushes can get into little spaces and do all the things. But I never got rid of my foams, and I'm so glad I didn't, because for things like this is where a foam is better than a brush. Like when you want to just add to the edge and have that little softer look, a foam does a better job than a brush can. So, yeah. All the different tools have all their different uses, and specifically with this dress, I don't have handles for every single color. I wish I did, but I don't have the space or the budget. So I've always kept my little blending foams in the bottoms of the ink cubes because it just sits there. And it works. It works. Okay. Yes. And adding the grunge gives it dimension. That grunging is good for hiding smudges among. Exactly. That's another reason why I like it. Because once you remove that pristineness, you know, add a bit of brown. But that's another reason why I love splatter. Is if you got a fingerprint or you accidentally smeared something or whatever, you know, you made an oopsie and it just add a bit of grunge, add a bit of splatter, and then it looks intentional. It's like, oh, you meant to do that the whole time, whatever. So, yeah, that's why I do what I do. Okay, let's start adhering things. Yep, and then we'll just see. I also need to. I think I have a clog in my glue. That's why it's been annoying me today. Should be good. Oh, I tell people all the time, don't lick your artwork. I get people get really hung up on over the years. It has become this mentality of permanence, like the need for permanence on a card. Like, well, what if it like sealing everything? Everything needs to be sealed, like so it doesn't smear, so it doesn't, because we're using water activated inks, yada yada yada. And just I'm not sure how exactly it started, but this need for everything to stay pristine and perfect forever. I was like, it's just paper, it's just a card. And well, like, what if it gets like water poured on it when it's in the envelope on the way? I was like, if the envelope gets ruined, it's not getting delivered. Like, it's done, it's gone. But I don't think that happens very often. Like, like, yeah, I don't worry about it too much, and yeah, don't lick the artwork. Like, if you get a card from me and you just and then you're mad that the ink came off, I don't know what to tell you. Like, yeah, don't lick the artwork, man. It's just, if you want to, that's fine. You do you. I don't recommend it, but you do you. So, anyhow, we're gonna just layer things up because we can. Because we can. Like, it's sometimes it's fun, to just do sort of random die cuts and stamps and see what happens. Like, this whole thing was sort of a random idea in my head. And like I said at the beginning, we'll just see if it translates into an actual finished card. Or if it looks like an absolute hot mess. Because it's possible. It's possible, man. So I'm going to get this onto here. About like that. About like that. About like that. Yep. So got that. I just, oh, that's the wrong thing. No, I was looking at the wrong. Yep. Okay. So, layers. Layers. We're not supposed to lick the artwork. Yeah, please don't. Please don't. But again, you do you. So we've got our butterfly. We've got our background. And then have there been ads in the chat? Ugh, that's so annoying, y'all. Yeah, I have no control over that kind of stuff. So then for our vellum leaves, this was kind of my plan. Yes. Yes. Because then this way I can hide where I glue the where I glue the vellum, because vellum is transparent, glue shows through it. And this way, when I put the butterfly down, it's going to cover up that center area, so we're not going to see, and then the rest can just be there. It's fine. So I have that. And then my plan was to kind of tuck in some of these little like flowers here and there. That's another place, using little embellishments or using little there we go. Okay. Using embellishments or strategically placed die cuts, etc., to hide glue, because vellum just is what it is. It's a transparent medium, you know, and glue will show through it. So that's also why I show, and that I never came up with that idea, but I've shown it in a ton of videos, doing things like when I do die cut sentiments, like one like this, because this has an outline, doesn't it? Pretty sure it does. Yeah, it does. I didn't use the outline, but wafer dies like this that have an outline, I've shown in a bunch of videos. I usually will die cut like the outline from vellum, but I would do like the 2 layers and then my vellum layer, and then I would have another die cut that I would adhere underneath to be able to add adhesive, because glue just shows through. It's usually not pretty. With this, something like a stem, it's usually not super obvious anyway, but with other elements, or if the the vellum is just regular vellum, like I've added ink and done all the things, it just depends. But yeah, you just kind of get a little creative with where you're placing the glue, and then little die cuts, little embellishments, what have you. So then if I go like that, so I've got my little doop like that, because then the butterfly is going to obscure that center area. What is that die? Which one? Everything I've used is listed and linked, and it's also in the pinned at the top of the chat, like a visual supply list. It's all linked, everything. So if you click on the visual supply list, it'll open up in another window, and it will show you everything. So we got that. Now my plan was to put the butterfly, like the sentiment, like right there, and then I've got my little like little random flowers that I was going to add here and there. Kind of stick them wherever's. And then the other thing you need to remember, which in the case of specifically like these leaves, this is a nice thing, is you always have to remember too that when you add liquid glue to vellum, it will, a lot of times it'll curl like as it's drying because of the moisture content of the glue. So I like that though for stuff like leaves, etc., because then it naturally they just pop up. So yeah, yeah. So got that. So we'll just stick a few little flowers just because we can. Do a little random kind of cluster here and there. I could stick one right there, and we're just gonna commit. Just commit. Stick one right there. We can stick a little. Where's my magnets? There's some magnets. Stick a magnet on them. Okay. I can't open the link. Won't open. If you're using an ad blocker, that would be on you. I cannot do anything about that because yeah, everything's linked, and it's also linked in the description box directly below the live stream. There is an entire supply list, all listed and linked, as well as a link to the visual list. And if you cannot open the visual supply list, you wouldn't be able to open the links if we put it in the chat anyway. It's all there. I can only do so much. There we go. So yeah, I'm just like tucking these in kind of here and there. Just cuz. And then holding it down for a second to let the glue start to fuse all the little bits together. That one, we do that one. So we got that. And then our butterfly is going to go there. I can save a couple for the inside just to give it a little something. And then our sentiment is going to go like that. This is going to be a very busy card, but that's, you know, that's the fun of it. That's the fun of it. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, these magnets are handy. I quite, not only do I quite enjoy them, I use them a lot. The small ones and the big ones. I use both. Just it depends on what I'm doing. But for me, they're like a little extra pair of hands to hold stuff down while the glue dries. So, speaking of, I've got the sentiment. I'll just stick them right there along the bottom. Got glue on him like that. And then that's where one of my big guys come in handy. Okay. And then our butterfly, we can even like curl up the wings just a smidge, you know, because he's gonna go like right like that. And I'm only gonna apply adhesive right down the center to let just the little bit that's curled up, just a smidge, just creates a little bit of visual interest. Nothing too crazy. Like that. And then, actually I'll use the big one for that guy. Let that glue set for a second. And while it does, I most likely want him back. I'm gonna move him out of the way. Got my card base, which is more, oh, that'll be the front anyway. That could be the front. More ivory cardstock, which I just cut a sheet in half. So this will be a top folding A2 note card. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. There we go. There we go. Like that. Just reinforce that fold. So we got our card base. And then on the inside of the card, we could do, I think I just want to stamp the butterfly on the inside. If we stamp the butterfly, we could add, if we had that, and then we could just go like, you know, add a couple little flowers. Oh yes, yes, that'll work. That'll work. Okay, so put this in here, and we can stamp him with the lighter ink. So we'll just use MELON ink for that. And stamp that onto the inside of our card. Lovely. Lovely. And then clean that ink off of there. Get him out of the way. I got schmutz all over me. Not surprised. There we go. Do I want to add? I do like these sentiments. There's that coordinating die set does die cut all the sentiments. You know? I kinda, like if we did that. We could do that. Snip that. Yeah, why not? Why not? Okay. Let's add a sentiment to the inside as well. Just because we can. So we could do that. Oh. I got way too many things going on here. Okay. This I'll stamp with the Archival ink. There we go. Yes. Yes. Okay. So we've got that. Set that aside. And then all we got to do is take that little guy. So we do that. So we snip off. I'll use my big beast scissors. Snip off that. There we go. And then I can add just a little bit of glue. Again, you don't need much. Vellum is super lightweight, so it really doesn't need much. We do that. And then glue that little guy like that. And then we can use our little flowers to just kind of cover up the glue in the stem area. This is why I always like to die cut or stamp a few extras, because you never know if you're gonna need them. Ooh, get back in your spot. So you can adhere one like that. And then one like this. There we go. There we go. And that'll give us that little something something on the inside of the card, which this could also be a fairly clean and simple card front, which is usually how I roll. Like, let's be honest, you know? So we got that. And then just checking my... Okay, I'm glad that was working. Then we have our card front. So we got the inside, and then we have our card front, like so. And I'm going to add the card front, and I'm going, I didn't forget, we're going to add splatter, y'all. We're still going to add splatter. I just wanted to get all of this put together first. And I need to get rid of that glue goober. That is driving me insane. Okay. So we'll adhere this to our card base like that. So then we've got that. So just layers and pattern and texture. And then we are just, and I'm going to save those die cut leaves for a different project because don't need them. This was good. This was good. Okay. So, splatter, which, oof, there we go. You can't have, I'm also going to grab my little apron while I'm at it, so I don't get splatter all over myself too, because that's generally a given. Oh my goodness. I always want to do the insides of my cards, but just doing the front takes me so long. Well, I keep the insides simple, you know? Just kind of repetitive of whatever's going on the outside. So it's like, got that. So it's like, oh, just stamp it. And there's a sentiment. A couple little die cuts. Like, and sometimes just a sentiment is more than enough. It just depends on, there we go, on what you're going for. Okay. So I'm going to add some Positively Perfect white splatter first, because that's just what we do. Where's my little sturmadiggy thing? There we go. So this stuff, which I've talked about ad nauseum, needs to be stirred up. Just all that pigment settles to the bottom, and if you don't stir it up, you're not going to get very good results, because it'll be just very watery, whatever. So you stir them real good, and then I wipe off my little stir stick, and then I take my little fan brush and we are just going to add some splatter because we can. Because we can. We'll add some to this. And some of this splatter, because it is so liquid, absorbs some of the ink, you know, here and there, so it won't stay white, and that's fine. That's totally fine. Okay. And then, Amy, if you did not do this splatter, I'd be worried about your health. I know, right? It has got to the point where the times where I choose not to, and I'll even say in the video, like, I just wasn't in the mood for it. You know, I get comments from people like, are you okay? Like, blink twice. Anyway, I'm fine. Sometimes I'm just not in the mood for it, but most of the time I'm in the mood for it. And then Positively Perfect black splatter. This stuff is black. It also does need to be stirred up. It doesn't look like it does, but it does. The pigment settles in this stuff as well. I like black splatter. I just do. I treat this product specifically very carefully because it's liquid and it's stupid black. And I'm constantly terrified. I'm sure there will become a day where I manage to knock this over and I will most likely cry. So, yeah. Trying very hard, especially when I'm live. I'm trying to like read the chat, keep an eye on it. Very aware of where my elbows are located. Cause yeah, he be super black. But man, there's something about black splatter that I just love. And while I'm doing this, the unpaid intern can pick a winner. Because I'm going to let the splatter dry and I'm going to add a little bit of bling. Because of course we're going to add bling. You know, splatter and bling. It just makes me happy. That'll do, donkey. Okay. So then, I was like, where's my cloth? Right in front of me. Okay. Put lid back on the... I missed. So you recommend stirred, not shaken. With these, yeah, okay. Literally, all jokes aside, let me move this guy first. Let's move him because he needs to dry for a minute. Specifically with the Simon Says stamp, Positively Perfect, because there's white, there's black, silver, and gold. Those are the four? I think those are the only four. Regardless, it doesn't matter. And this will apply in the future if they come up with other colors. Who cares? I do not recommend shaking these. I was doing that in the beginning because like they're very liquidy, and that's what I was doing is I was shaking them because it was like the pigment needs to be moved. However, I don't recommend shaking them because it gets everywhere. It gets all up into the threads of the jar if you're shaking it, and then it's a mess because if you shake it, all that liquid's like, oh, and then you open it and it's just, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Don't shake them. I really like, and I linked to them, the little silicone doohickeys that Simon started selling a month or two ago. These are perfect because it's got that little angled, so I get right into those corners with the, especially like the silver metallic, because I like that splatter too. But a palette knife works as well. You know, your basic little, just something to get to the bottom to stir it up, and that's what I recommend stirring these because yeah, I fused this one shut. It took me a bit to even get it open because I had so much liquid trapped in there. Because also I've knocked it over. Let's be honest. Thankfully the lid was on, but yeah, it just, don't shake them. Don't shake them. You're in for a bad time, and then you'll go to open it, and it's just gonna be so. Yeah, and they're very liquidy. They're very, like, it's just pure liquid pigment and whatever else. And so yeah, I stir them, splatter with them, put the lid back on, and then they're good to go. And then they're good to go. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that Simon Says Stamp also only recommends stirring them because it's a mess. It's a mess. Um, I'm not worried about bubbles with them because you're just dipping a brush into it. Uh, do you like the jar for splatter more than the tube medium use? I like both. I jump around. Okay, don't always remember. I do this as a job. I do this job. I will not show products that I don't genuinely like. No one can pay me enough. Well, and I don't get paid to like showcase something. So like I do what I want. I do what I want. I share what I want, and I share what I like. And with splatter specifically, they're all great. They're all great. So I like these because they're just the convenience factor. You know, I like my gouache because I don't know. I just like my gouache. My metallics, distress paint, black set distress paint, amazing. The white is great too, and all the colors. I used those the other day. The pink card I used some paint on that one. No. The February card kit cards. I used carved pumpkin and spun sugar distress paints. So, yeah, I have a crazy amount of splatter. I love it all. It's all great. They all work great. Um, is it some form of acrylic? How fast it dries? It dries pretty quickly. Like some of this is already dry. Some of it, it's getting there. Depends on how much you glob it on. Um, but yeah, it dries fairly quickly. Um, there was something. How does it compare to the Dr. P.H. Martin White? I couldn't tell you. I don't think I have the. Do I have the bleed proof white? I have Amsterdam. I might have it in a drawer somewhere. I haven't used the Dr. P.H. Martins in forever, so I can't even give a comparison. I haven't used the P.H. Martins in years. So, but if you've got it, awesome. It's a good product and it's great. I haven't used mine in years. Years. Did I miss? Okay. So, last but not least, we're gonna just a little bit of bling. You know, let's just do that. Add some little peachy, positively dazzling gems, because going with the peachy orange sort of a theme. So we can tuck a few of these in here, because why not? So we're just gonna do that. We can do that. We can stick one. Oop, get where you belong. There we go. Stick one there. We could tuck one over there like that. Just kind of hide them in there. Stick one right there. And we can put one like right there. Do I overthink the bling sometimes? Yes, I do. That should be good. Okay, where's my, there it is. I was like, lost that one. Okay. Ooh, let's see, that big old glob of glue. Get that off of me. Okay, so I'm gonna take this, and we're gonna adhere some bling just to finish this guy off, like so. Yes, and then that one, and get where you belong. The little glob of glue there. Ooh. He was getting caught on something. Wait, let me adhere this one and then I'll fix him. Tuck that guy in there. What's, oh, that's why. Oop, we'll just stick you right there. Right there. I like tucking sometimes with the bigger bling or like big sequins or confetti. Kind of tucking them under a layer so only part of it's peeking out. Yeah, it just gives it a little extra something. Okay, so when it comes to placing bling, any type of bling, it doesn't matter, whether it's self-adhesive, anything, rule of threes, generally. So, where's my, I need a scrap. I don't know where my Post-it notes went. Are they over there? Did you steal my Post-it notes?
No.
Where'd my Post-it notes go? They grew legs and walked away. Can I use one of these ones? Okay. Nope. That's got import. Oh, this little tiny one will work. Okay, rules of three when it comes to bling and triangles. Visual interest. So you place things in some form of a triangle. So in this case, look at me being all like Kathy Zielski design theory. She's actually really good at explaining design theory. Just full stop. So visual interest, triangles. That's just the way the eye is drawn. So placing things in threes in a triangle formation. So do. That's a triangle. And then I kind of did that here, even though I tucked that one under. It's still another triangle. And I also went this way, just with the way I placed the leaves. The butterflies angled sort of that way. A visual sort of triangle with the flowers as well. And then the other thing with bling is having more than one size. And I fight with brands over this sometimes because it bugs me if they only have like one size or only two sizes of something. I literally I will pressure them into like, we need at least three. So a large, a medium, a small. Like at least three sizes helps. If I only have two sizes, then I'll do like a large and two small and just kind of triangulate again. So it takes a bit. And again, it's just paper. It's just a bit of bling, whatever. But the more practice you get, helps. The other thing is odd numbers. So again, the rule of three is like 3. So normally I would do like 3 and then maybe just 2, so 5. Like odd numbers, that's also visually pleasing. However, you kind of consider each cluster its own thing. So 3, 3. Again, visually pleasing to the eye because as your eye travels, it's like, it's 3, do. Things like that. And again, none of these are hard and fast rules. But you learn the rules of design. You learn the rules of color theory. You learn the rules so that you can break them. And hopefully that makes sense. I like breaking the rules. That's what I do. So, yeah, they're just design rules. It's the rule of thirds. When you look, and again, Kathy Zielski's explained this a lot. In fact, she shows it. It's a transparency. You can download it for free, but she is, Simon Says Sam is going to be releasing it. A little transparency that's broken into thirds that you can use on your cards. And it just, again, it gives you those like visual cues. And that is a theory like from photography, like when you center things or when you have them in those intersecting areas, it's just where your eye is naturally drawn. And then it makes it visually pleasing. That said, most of the time I'm not even considering that. And it's very hard for me to explain because I don't think in those terms. Like thirds specifically, I'm just like, I just place that wherever I want. But that design theory underneath it all is still kind of there. So I'm super professional. I'm like teaching you all exactly the things. But there's my ratchet explanation. Hope it helps. But yeah, rule of threes and just having various sizes of things. So it's not like the exact same thing. So say it was like these little die-cut flowers are different. Like if you did the exact same one, there is also the repetition of something is also very visually pleasing. But that's more like if you were to do 3 of the same. Someone that does that excessively well is someone like Laura Fedora, aka Laura Basson. She does much more clean and simple, but she'll do like repetitive, so very repetitive pattern, but she'll like do it in a rainbow color, very, very clean and simple. And her cards are so visually like they just pop. Like I can see a Laura Fedora card from a mile away. It's like it pops up my feed. I know it's hers because it's just the way she creates. So yeah. Yeah. But when it comes specifically to bling, kind of rule of threes and like trying to go in sort of a triangle formation of some sort. It doesn't have to be a specific, you don't need to know any geometry. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We don't need no acute angles or anything like that. But a visual sort of bit and then like staggering. So if I was only going to do 2, I kind of say like I wouldn't put them in like a straight line, like burp, 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 burp. Because also this card is more organic, so I would put like 1 here and then 1 over here, 1 here, 1 somewhere over here, like break up the harsh lines. Hopefully that makes sense. So all of that randomness to make the finished card. I'm glad I heat embossed his little body. Having that separate die cut it's such a small little thing, but it works. It works. And yeah, all that splatter is dry. I did talk a lot. It's been a while. I don't know how long it's been since I applied the splatter. It's been dry for a while. But yeah. And then the vellum and the little bits, peeking out. And that pattern paper. Look at me using my pattern paper. Oh my gosh. Who am I? What's happening? And then, speaking of clean and simple, the inside. And there's still plenty of space to write something to the person who wins this, which let me set him down. And then your little tutorial helps. I can learn to break the rules too. Oh yeah, that is design theory in a very ratchet, basic way. But that's also why I try to explain all the videos I do, like the randomness that's going through here, and then trying to explain that in my way, because and especially when I'm live, you'll get me going down 5 million other rabbit holes, and which is fun. It's fun. So yeah, I love it. Okay, who am I sending this to?
The winner today is Marina from Namibia.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, this might take a while to get to her. Who? What was the first name again?
Marina.
Marina?
Marina, yeah. Maryna.
Marina in Namibia.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, I remember somebody from Namibia was showing up in your chat once. Maybe that's the same person.
Yes. So that's who I'm going to be sending the card to. I'm just looking on my little file in here so I can see the actual um that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I send the live stream winners because it's a card. Anywhere. It doesn't matter. It might take a while.
It might.
It might take
It
a
is
while.
kind of in the middle of the Kalahari Desert.
That's fascinating though. It's fascinating. Fascinating. Um Not sure. I didn't mail out last week's winner. And then I have that bonus one that was on my blog that we need to pick a winner for. Maybe we'll do a mail out this week. Sometimes it takes me a while. I did catch up and mailed out all the previous winners up until right before last week. So all of those, and I've had people in the comments commenting saying like the cards have been arriving, which is love that. Love that so much. So yeah, hopefully I can mail things this week. It just depends on all of the things. So thanks to the disembodied hand
Yep.
for sort of helping.
I was paying attention through a lot of it.
Through a lot of it.
But I was sort of reading a short story, and it was very
I could tell you get really, really silent when you're reading something. Oh, it's funny.
I have difficulty multitasking. When I'm in my head, I'm in my head.
Well, yeah, you're not a multitasker. I'm the multitasker. I multitask to a debilitating level. It's kind of insane. But yeah, I will get these mailed out at some point. It is what it is. Because yeah, it just depends on life. I will have a lot of content again coming this week because I am participating in 3 releases this week. Yeah. 3 releases. So I'm in a couple of video hops. Yeah. I've got video hops. Will be Instagram stuff. So many things. And stuff that I still have to catch up on. Like other projects that have been like partially filmed. I've got footage to go through, like so many things. I have a lot. I posted a lot this past week, right up until, last night, and then today's live. And then I have a lot coming this week. It's gonna be a little bit nuts, but also really fun. And then yeah, I will do the social medias for this, the photos, yada yada yada, and yeah, once the live is like officially over and it's been processed, for those on the replay, I'll have it in the end screen, the links to the 2 cards I posted, like the videos I posted yesterday using other Tim Holtz and Simon Says Stamp goodies. And yeah, not sure if I'll do any bonus lives this week. I'm not sure. I usually don't even know till like it always depends. So no promises on that. I did do 2 bonus lives last week, Wednesday evening and Thursday evening. Those were fun. So those like it's been a lot. It's been fun. So yeah, this was good. This turned out. I wasn't sure. If the idea in my head was gonna translate. But you know what? This was a lot of fun. And you can't go wrong with a great big old butterfly, Like he's just lovely. He's just lovely. So, yeah, I will have all the things. All the things. I can't even think straight, y'all. I have so much on my plate. It's so ridiculous. And lots of good things coming. All the releases. And then, yeah, tomorrow on the Simon Says Stamp YouTube channel, not mine. And it's already on there. I know it is. I'm positive it has to be on there. YouTube. I think it's already set up to go, and I'm pretty sure it's going live at noon. Simon Says Stamp Eastern time. Simon Says Steam. Simon Says Stamp. I can't even spell. There we go. There we go. Yes, noon Eastern. Heidi's going live to launch Create 2026. And I assume that means that at noon Eastern, the tickets themselves will be available on the Simon Says website. I assume. I do not speak for them. I do not know. That's how they've done it. But we'll know when they go live. So for those interested, I don't know yet if I'm going. I want to. I genuinely want to. I think it'd be fun. I just don't know. Is there a way to be notified when you post going live on Facebook? I missed both impromptus last week. Not at the moment. I have been looking into it. We have, and the unpaid intern has been helping look into it, like doing the whole, because I know a lot of people offer like text notifications now where you can like sign up and get text notifications like when I go live. I've been looking into it. I'm hoping to do something like that. My thing is just a lot of the options I've been looking into are so expensive. So, yeah, I know. I want to. It's a lot. It's a lot. So yeah, cuz like email is email and people don't check their emails, and I get it. And when I go live, I try to give everybody as much of a heads up, but I always post it on my like YouTube channel because there's the post option. So I try to post on there, but that one is very much a hit and a miss. I've had some of you confirm that you'll get a notification like the next day of those sorts of posts. And then yeah, Facebook, same thing. Facebook's a hit and a miss. And I refuse. I don't pay. Facebook wants me to pay for literally everything, and I refuse to do it because y'all, I'm just a one-woman show, and some of the stuff is insanely expensive, and I refuse. I refuse. Rawr. But yeah, looking into some sort of texting service that people could sign up for, and it wouldn't cost you guys anything. I have to pay for that. And it's just some of it's scary and expensive. I have no idea. So I'm looking into it, but as the content creator, my jaw was kind of on the floor with how much some of the services are. So I'm trying to find one that's reasonable, but also not like, because I don't want to spam people either. Like if I do it, it would literally only be for like going live in at X time. Like that would be, and like a link to the live stream. That's it. That's all I would do, you know? But that's why I keep my Sundays 2 p.m. Central Time. Like the consistency of it was to avoid having to sign up for something like this. Literally, I didn't want to have to do it. But yeah, when I do bonus ones, because they're random and I'm never sure, yeah, I'm looking into it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. You know. Um. Um. Yeah. Is there a way? No expense in your. Oh, I know. No, just trust me. I do this as a job. So, and with everything I do, it's with the thought process of like explaining how I make everything, and then I do my photos and linking to all my supplies, and obviously affiliate linking because I get a little cut from the affiliate links, that sort of thing. That's what helps literally pay the bills. But trying to make things as easy as possible for all of the rest of you. And texting or having a texting service would make life more convenient for you guys as well as for me. I just need to find one that is reasonable because some of them are stupid expensive, but also some of them are very I think Beth's is like, you do for your job at a small business. Yeah, some of the tech services are expensive, but they're a lot more involved because it's more for like online stores, like those type of tech services where you can sign up and they'll give you like in stock notifications and hey, did you like not check out or all that, which I'm like, nope, no, thank you, no. So if I do a tech service, it'll literally just be to give people a heads up that I'm going live, and I would use it to say like, hey, massive sale at Simon Says Stamp or wherever, that sort of thing, being like heads up, limited. That's it. That's it. But I gotta look at. I'm still looking into it. But yeah. Uh, Sometimes it helps to unsubscribe, then resubscribe to the YouTube notification. YouTube and the notifications are something. They're something. I don't even have words to describe it. I will say, and I've talked about this before, when it comes to YouTube notifications specifically, one, you can click on those below the videos. Like, I can't I can't even see it on my end because I'm watching from my own account. But below a YouTube video, it'll have the subscribe button if you are subscribed or not. And then there's that little bell notification, and you can click on that and it gives you options when you click on it, whether you want to be notified by whatever it is. So that's one way. Is it consistent? No. However, over the last however long, now that we've got all these algorithms, aka the robot overlords, whoever it is that you watch consistently and interact with consistently, so it doesn't have to be me, but because this applies to anyone, whoever you watch and interact with consistently, so you're consistently thumbing up their videos, leaving comments, etc., the more you interact with whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whoever, the more you interact with a creator in any capacity, the more often and the more consistent the notifications get. Hopefully that makes sense. And I'm just trying to word this properly because I've had people over the years and be like, I think you've received enough thumbs up and comments. I was like, okay. It's not a competition. That isn't it's not a competition. It just is what it is. But it is literally what the algorithms scan for, that engagement. That's why I always say at the end of my videos, I appreciate people spending time with me watching. Watch time. It is all tracked by the robots. Watch time, interaction, so thumbs upping, thumbs downing even, and commenting. All of those things are tracked by the robots. And when a person interacts with something consistently, the robots are like, oh, you like that? Here's more. Similar, etc. Yeah. I don't get why YouTube recommends a lot of things for me that I have zero interest in. Sometimes it depends on the person. Like sometimes the algorithms be algorithming and I will get fed some like stuff will pop up in my feed that I'm just like, yes, here for it. Love this. Oh my goodness. And then other times it's like, this is hot garbage. Like, but with YouTube, you can also click the little ellipses, the little three dots beside, and you can like on your main page, like you're on your YouTube homepage, you can click and put not interested, or I think another option is like don't show me videos from this channel. Like there's options on that too, because your homepage is just so random. So random, depending on the type of content you engage with. And so yeah, there are a lot of times where certain stuff will pop up in my feed that I'm just like, do not show me videos from this channel, and other times it's like, oh, that looks interesting, and I'll watch it, and I was like, subscribe, things like that. So the more you interact, it does increase the likelihood that you will get notifications. But all of that to say, good luck to us all. Like, may the odds be ever in your favor, because I joke about it, but it's also, y'all, it's exhausting. Like, doing this as a job, like, it's a constant fight with the algorithms and all of that insanity. It's annoying. It's like, I just want to make things. I just want to make cards and talk to my people and do my thing. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. And it is just so annoying, you know? And I've had many people over the years, like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you so long. I hope you're okay. And I was like, I posted 5 videos this week. What are you talking about? And they're like, I haven't seen videos from you in years, things like that. And I was like, oh yeah, no, I haven't gone anywhere. But it just wasn't showing up in their feed, and they forgot about me. It happens. It's okay. So things like that have happened many times over the years. Literally, I will drop off the grid for a ton of people. And it doesn't help that I'm not everyone's cup of tea either. My personality doesn't agree with everybody. Um, um, Sometimes I get recommendations for stuff my husband is looking at. Oh yeah, if you share accounts, oh yeah, that can mess up your feed, like, fully, because different interests, different things. Like, Chris and I have separate accounts. That's the only way he could help moderate, is he uses his own account. I have my account, and yeah, it still happens though, because sometimes, like, we'll send each other links to videos or different things, and that will we will do that to troll each other as well. There's ways to really mess up a person's algorithm, not specifically YouTube. You can do it with anything, but there are certain things that we will send to each other and that we've sent to friends at times, where it's certain links to certain things, and it will just mess up their feed, and they will get fed ads and all the things. Because again, the algorithms, the robots, they're watching everything. Everything. It is what it is. It's annoying. But yeah. Sometimes it interests me. Other times, like, doing this as a job, it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. The joys of technology. Sometimes they're wonderful. Being able to, like, connect with people in this way, wonderful. Wonderful use of technology. Some of the rest of it, not so much. Not so much. But hopefully, that explains a lot of how it works. And then yeah, just stay tuned. I'm gonna have to bite the bullet eventually and do some form of texting service. I got distracted. Ooh, a new way to torture someone. And I don't recommend it. And I actually have the word Amazon banned in my comments because I don't like promoting it. But, like, sending someone a link to, like, Thomas the Train products on Amazon, if you really want to troll someone, and this is really mean, but it's also really funny, it will mess up. They will get so many stupid ads. So I'm sorry, or you're welcome. Just, that's one way. If you really want to mess with someone, that's one way to do it. Anyway, yeah, the whole texting thing, back to what I was saying. I will be doing it at some point, hopefully. I just am not sure when. I'm going to have to, like, suck it up and sign up for a service and give them all my money. We'll get there. We'll get there. One thing at a time, y'all. One thing at a time. But I will continue to try and keep people as updated as possible with, like, my lives on Sundays as for the foreseeable future, because I've been doing it for 2 or 3 years now. I forget how long. Sundays at 2 p.m. Central for, like, my consistent lives, And then the bonus ones, I'll try to give everyone as much of a heads up as I can. until I do sign up for texting service, it is a hit and a miss, and it's frustrating. But yeah, I'll figure something out. We'll figure something out. So, anywho, I'm gonna go. I have more work to do. I have a mess to clean up. I'll do my photos. I'll edit my links. I think I only have a couple things I need to add, and then yeah, I'll have a bunch of content coming. Stay tuned. Appreciate you all, and yeah, this was fun. This was a lot of fun. Who'da thunk? Orange. Who'da thunk? So, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And yeah, the thumbs upping and the commenting, it genuinely, I mean it. It genuinely helps. Just, it's all the engagement, the little engagement clicks that the robots are constantly scanning for. And the more, that's what shows up on the back end. I don't hyperfixate on the analytics. A person can. I will say, as a creative, and to other people that watch me who are also like wanting to do videos or starting to do videos or just like content creation, try not to get too hung up in the analytics. Nothing can be a bigger buzzkill, especially when you're trying to be creative, than analytics. I don't like it. Like there's ways to use that to your advantage, to use the analytics and to play the analytics to your advantage to increase views and yada yada. I don't like that. I don't like doing it. I have no issue. Those that are able to do it, awesome. For me, it kills my creativity. And nothing like going on my YouTube back end and it's like this video, like less of your subscribers liked this video, less are watching. Boo. I'm not even kidding. Happens all the time. And I'm just like, thanks. Move on. So yeah, don't get too like bogged down and like, cause you can get into the literal nitty gritty. Like I can see where it drops off, where people are watching and where they drop off viewing, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, I don't look at it. It's like, I made what I made. I shared what I shared. Moving on to the next thing. I'm not going to sit and obsess over numbers and you know? So there's my random TED talk on the things. Design theory and triangles and robots, y'all. And how to troll people with random links to Thomas the Train products. You learned so much from me. So on that note, I'm gonna go. I hope you all have a fabulous Sunday, and I'll be seeing y'all very soon in another video. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!